Welcome back to the beautiful Dorman Arena. Marcus Burnett here on the mic as we get ready to bring you another day one matchup here at the Farm Bureau Insurance Classic. This matchup features Lawrence taking on Spartanburg, two Palmetto State teams set to go out at it here. We've had Georgia teams, we've had a couple teams from North Carolina, a few other South Carolina teams here on hand. This is the first SC versus SC matchup here tonight. Can't get ahead of myself. Still the daytime portion, but been a good day of basketball up to this point, and we'll have games all the way up to an 8:30 p.m. start time this evening as Lawrence gets the stop and will bring it the other way. Offensive rebound, but that's going to be blocked. There's Spartanburg, and that's going to be finished there by number 10. That's Austin Nellums. So Nellums gets us our first 2 points of the ball game. Puts the Vikings up 2-0. Lawrence able to keep it in play. A few touch passes is going to create an open three outside. Great positioning inside. Nobody boxed him out, and he did what he's supposed to do there. That's number 30, Ty Madden. We're tied up at 2 apiece after Madden's rebound and lay-in. Three-pointer on the way. Wide open shot, can't get it to fall there. Could Toby Jackson. So here's Nellums. Nellums has it stripped away, put it in the back pocket, and had it ripped away. Here we're going to have a foul. Going to go against Casario Whitmore. So Whitmore called for the foul. That's going to send, no, correction, it's Whitmore at the line. The foul was against number 1, Tavares Scott for Spartanburg. Got my ones mixed up there. But it's Casario Whitmore at the line. So still tied at 2-2. Spartanburg, they work it inside. Floater bounces around, and the Palmetto bounce goes down for number 23. That's Cam McKennedy. Foul off the ball is going to give it back to Spartanburg. Power dribble, the jump hook. Up. Who needs a tie, says Ty Madden, when you can splash the triple. He makes it 5-4. His second bucket. First was off an offensive rebound and an easy lay-in. That time he splashed it from the outside. They call an offensive foul there. I didn't think the player had his feet set. But the opinion that matters says he did, so it will go the other way. That might be a case of the ball not lying, as Casario Whitmore came up with the steal, or it could have just been an ordinary steal on his part. No correlation with the previous call. Shot, point blank, it wouldn't fall. Floater, no good, and Ty Madden with the rebound. Madden looking to push. They'll get it to the corner, nearly stolen. Little two-man game going on there between Madden and Chris Statham. Statham has it knocked out of bounds. So it's going to go back to Lawrence. Tough place to be there in that corner. And a turnover. Toby Jackson had nowhere to go, was in a bad spot. Ty Madden fouled as he rebounds the ball. Foul on the drive there by Ladarius Williams. That'll send Williams to the line for 2 free throws. Can't get the first one to go. Splits the pair by knocking down the second one. And that'll make it 6-4. Lawrence with the lead. Last touched by the Raiders. Spartanburg's ball there along the baseline. Triple no good. Toby Jackson rebounds it. Slows it up. That 3 just off to the left. Ladarius Williams able to use that length. You see the long strides and the lay-in to make it 8-4. Williams goes up high, comes down hard. He is up and walking around. There's always a collective holding of the breath whenever you see a player go airborne and come down that hard. You want to make sure that the ball handler that's using that shot fake is okay, but also the player that's in the air is really kind of subject to gravity. Darius Williams appears to be okay, so we are good to go. Spartanburg inbounds a 3 from the corner. Way too strong, but too strong on the offensive glass for them. There's number 23, Cam McKennedy, who follows up, makes it 6-8. Madden going to try to get his second three-pointer of the first half. No good. Offensive rebound. Floated up and in there by Casario Whitmore. Whitmore makes it a 10-6 ball game. We take a quick break with them. When we get back, more from the Farm Bureau Insurance Classic. Back out of the timeout. 3 minutes, 32 seconds and counting left to play here in the first quarter. As you can see, a 4-point advantage for the Raiders of Lawrence. Hoop and the harm. Score that one for number 4, Chris Statham. Statham able to hang in the air amidst the contact and finish. That will be the 14th foul against Spartanburg. Both teams. Statham on the make it 13-6. skip pass never makes it to its intended recipient. Lawrence will snatch it and come the other way. Statham gets it back to the top of the key. Here's Toby Jackson. Now they get it over to Whitmore. Whitmore running floater. Ball going to be last touched by Cam McKennedy of Spartanburg. Look at both of these teams. Both of them had 9 losses at the end of last season. Spartanburg 13-9. Statham's 3, no good. Kept inbounds, good hustle by Nicholas Leak. Leak wants it in the corner, was left alone momentarily. Instead, they'll get it over to Whitmore, who will try his luck at a three-pointer. Won't go, rebound secured by Logan Foster. Wasn't aware where that left Nike was at there along the baseline for Nicholas Leak. So it's turned over, going the other way, Spartanburg. Under the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. Tavares Scott fouled on the drive attempt. It's going to go against Ladarius Williams. Williams kind of motioned towards the official that he just had his arms up. Official gives him the indication that he got him with the body. Like when officials chime in with players to, you know, it's their job to officiate the game, not necessarily to turn it into a basketball tutorial. Not really enough time for that when you look at what they have to focus on throughout the course of a game. But there's nothing wrong with giving a player a quick explanation or a quick rationale as to why a call went against them. So many times you see officials get a bad rap for a call that coaches disagree with, but nothing like providing a quick rationale just to legitimize it, but also help the player or coach get an understanding. We've seen misunderstandings take place between coaches and referees, so the best way to be able to circumvent that is to be on the same page. A little bit of a dust up there between Ladarius Williams and a couple of the Spartanburg's player there on that hard foul. Good clean foul, just a solid one. So Williams is going to have a seat. It will be Lauren's ball there along the baseline. Tight roping along the baseline there was Leak. He has it taken away, and the Vikings come back, trying to trim this 7-point deficit. Official asked for help, and the ball will stay with the Vikings. Creeping in the back door, getting behind the defense there was number 5, Mike Murphy. So Murphy will head to the line. Member of the all-region and all-area team was Murphy. First free throw kicks off the back of the rim. Second free throw is good. So 13. That shot changed in the air. No good for Whitmore. Tavares Scott leading the break. Taking it from there with the finish, Keyshawn Bruton Bruton makes it 9-13. Bruton all over that pass, gets the steal. Drops the pass off. Mike Murphy took him a second to gather it. Too strong on the reverse attempt. Able to get the defender in the air and get the contact. A potential and one, or what looked like one for Spartanburg, is going to go the other way as they whistle Ronnie Miller for steps. We approach the final 15 seconds or so of the first quarter. It won't end before a 3-ball from Toby Jackson. That one rolls in and out, won't fall for Bruton. They've got about 3 seconds to work with. Jackson goes behind the back, stops. If it goes in, it's a good-looking shot to be able to end the first quarter. Toby Jackson, I mean, it just looked good. Even before he did the behind the back, it just looked like a play that was gonna go well. He goes behind the back, and we've heard of $1 million move, but a 15 cents shot. That time he made sure the shot value was right on line with the behind the back move that gave him space. Toby Jackson sends us into the quarter break with a 3. Ready to get the second quarter started. Foul going to go against Lawrence. That is their 7th team foul, so it will be free throws for Spartanburg for the rest of this second quarter. First free throw is good for Bruton. A little bit of a discrepancy when it comes to the clock. So the official taking the second to get it squared away. (19-9). Is your score here as we are underway here in the second quarter. Deep three-pointer taken there by Whitmore. Can't get it to go. Too much mustard on that pass. Tavares Scott intended for Mike Murphy. Sails out of bounds and back over to Lawrence. Nine-point game. Advantage the Raiders. Trying to muscle that one up. We have a jump ball before he can get it above his shoulders. It'll be Lawrence ball there along the baseline. Chuck Johnson got it tied up. That Vikings turnover won't help the case for trying to erase the 9-point deficit. As they throw that one out of bounds, and it'll be thrown in for Lawrence by Casario Whitmore. Throws it in just to get it back, and he'll set things up. Looks like we're going to see Spartanburg switch to a zone look. They'll go to the 2-3. Whitmore says no problem. Knocks down the triple on demand to make it 22-10. Nice job of answering right back for Spartanburg. That's number 21, Andrew Tate. So Tate has a chance to get those 3 points back here with the free throw. In and out. Handoff broken up by Murphy. Lawrence set to throw it in. Foul off the ball is going to go against Chuck Johnson. A little overzealous there on that screen he set. So that will send it over to Spartanburg with 6 minutes, 38 seconds and counting. Spartanburg and Lawrence now playing for a chance to play the winner of Game 6, which comes up right after this. That game features Pace Academy and Gainesville High School out of Florida. Pace Academy with Wendell Carter, top-ranked player in the class of 2017. I believe he's a game-time decision. He's a little banged up in last week's national tournament at the Chick-fil-A Classic. So yet to be determined as to whether or not he will suit up tonight. If he does, you're in for a treat there with Pace Academy taking on Gainesville. The winner of that game will play the winner of this one at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. Tenth team foul against Lawrence. So in the penalty, they have a 10-point advantage, but also a 10 spot in the team fouls column. So 6:31 remaining here in the second quarter. That's a lot of time for Spartanburg to be able to get to the free throw line every time they're fouled by Lawrence. Three-pointer, no good from the corner. But Darius Williams and Keyshawn Bruton both going after that rebound, went off the hands of Bruton. So Ty Madden gonna try the three-pointer. He's taking the headband off. Playing volleyball around the rim are the Lawrence Raiders. Chris Statham picks up the pieces and gets the bucket. And Ty Madden, he actually has the headband on. He just kind of blended into his hair for a second. So for those of you that were on the edge of your seats for headband updates, got you covered there. Chris Statham good on the free throw. 12-point game. Lawrence hasn't really been in jeopardy of giving up this lead. They've led comfortably for the majority of this first half. Nice tip in, hanging in the air there was Cam McKennedy. And when I say comfortable, it's relatively speaking. I'm sure even though they had a 12-point advantage, and Coach Ben Sinclair isn't satisfied with that at all. Plenty of game left as a coach. But they've always been able to keep it, to a 6, 8, 10-point advantage for a good majority here. 10-point game. Double dribble violation will send it the other way. That Lawrence 3 ball pushes the lead to 13. Floater game nice there for number 10, Austin Nellums. Nellums got the first 2 points of the game. Early there in the first quarter. And gets his first bucket since. Foul on the play there is Mike Murphy, so Murphy heads to the line. Look up at the scoreboard, and it's a 9-point game. Spartanburg clawing away. A chance to try to buck some of the momentum that's surging here for Spartanburg. Going to be put in the hands of E. Nicholas Leak. Senior headed to the free throw line. Spartanburg has been able to get that lead back and forth to a single digit. But it stayed up within that 7 to 9 range. See if the Vikings have enough to possibly tie this thing up. Going into halftime, as we've got 4 minutes, 16 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Rebound no good. Mike Murphy has it. Leak trying to make it as hard as possible for him to get things going for Spartanburg on the offensive end. Here's Nellums, his first three-point attempt. Can't get it to go. Rebound had initially, but unable to keep a handle on it was Ronnie Miller. That 2-pointers off the mark. Here's Bruton. Bruton lost the handle. Toby Jackson gets it over to Madden. Madden loses the handle. Was it touched last by he or Nellums? They're going to say Madden responsible for it going out of bounds. So it will go over to Spartanburg, still trailing by 9. Ronnie Miller makes it a 7-point game. And that one sails over to the scorer's table. So Spartanburg knocking on the door. They've stayed within striking distance, but trying to do more than just remain in close proximity. Trying to close this gap before we go into halftime. 3 minutes, 17 seconds remaining. Both teams fighting for a chance to play the winner of Pace Academy in Gainesville. Foul going to be called there on the floor. DJ Turner for Lawrence, not happy with the call. But you had the body there, and even if the official lets the body go, anytime you have two hands on the back of that ball handler, easy call for the official to make. First free throw missed by Nellums. 3 minutes, 6 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Second free throw's good. 6-point game. A lot of air under that pass, nearly stolen by Tavares Scott. Subbing in for Spartanburg, it will be number 23, Cam McKennedy, as Austin Nellums has a seat. Stepping in, taking the charge, Ronnie Miller. Miller pulled them to within 7 with the bucket minutes ago. They're stepping up, taking the charge. Can they sandwich that with the score here on the other end? Keyshawn Bruton gets it over to Mike Murphy. Murphy guarded by Ty Madden. That goes off the hands of Bruton, and that'll be a turnover. You don't want to see those at any point in time, but Coach Fred Ford, you definitely don't want to see it when you're within 6. The chance to get some key buckets here as we approach the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. Toby Jackson over to Whitmore. Ty Madden nearly came away with the steal there, but Bruton gets it across the timeline. Looks the defense off and dishes it to Ronnie Miller. Miller hangs in the air with the contact and finishes. And the Vikings have pulled to within 4. You see Bruton get it across, did a great job of using his eyes to look Toby Jackson off. Bullet pass up ahead and the finish by Ronnie Miller. Free throw won't fall, but the Vikings have pulled to within 4 points. Foul going to go against Cam McKennedy. Darius Williams at the free throw line. They missed the second free throw. The bad news, good news is they get the offensive rebound, Nicholas Leach. Madden tries a deep 3. No good. Ronnie Miller with the rebound. Tries the outlet pass, but it's tipped. Right before Williams turns it over, trying to get it to Ty Madden in the corner. Five-point game. The Raiders leading. They've led for the majority of this first half. Turnover. Here's Madden with the flush up top. Ty Madden, good size player, listed at 6'4". Don't have the exact weight restrictions, but I'll tell you, he's not missing any meals. But light on his feet, can make things happen. We've seen him knock down a couple threes. He got the steal and the dunk. They followed that up with another bucket, and what was cut down to a 4-point lead is now a 9-point advantage. You see instances happen where a team has had a good first half and how their momentum or how the state of their energy or the rhythm that they have. Whatever they have going into those closing minutes of the half, it can be very instrumental in how that next half starts. Spartanburg floats that one up and in off the hand of Cam McKennedy. So if you're Spartanburg, you don't want to go into the halftime down 9 or 11 points and you pull it to within 4. Obviously, the game's not over if that happens, but whatever you can do for a physical and or mental edge, that's always good. If they can cut it back down to maybe 4 to 6 points, that would be ideal. You can cut it down to a 5-point deficit with the deuce, 4 with the triple. Looks like they're going to hold for the last shot here. Mike Murphy has it up top. Madden and the Raiders just waiting back, looking to try and get one last stop here before we go into halftime. Foul going to go against E. Nicholas Leak. Not a necessary foul there. You're waiting to be able to get a stop on this last possession. Ball handler's not even trying to attack. But understand, applying a little bit of pressure prior to seeing Spartanburg try to advance the ball and score for the last shot, but that's just an unnecessary foul there by E. Nicholas Leak. One that you want to hold for a situation where it's a little bit more helpful for your squad. 6-point game. Leak hesitates for a second, now gets to the rack, he misses, follow up by Statham. Statham misses. Foul on the floor. But it's still going to be free throws regardless, since it's the 19th foul against Spartanburg. Two-tenths of a second remaining here on the game clock, so even if this is missed, not much you can do if you're Spartanburg in terms of trying to get a full court heave before the time expires. Stadium's second free throw is good. And that will send us into halftime. Appreciate you joining us here on SUVtv. We'll be back after the intermission with Lawrence versus Spartanburg.
Seconds inbound pass to Marbury as he works on the defense of Johnson, dribbles by Robinson, takes it to the baseline, running jump shot, good! 2 seconds left.
back to Dorman Arena, moments away from getting the second half started off. Let's take a look at some of the numbers on both sides here as we get ready to start the second half. You look at Lawrence, they're shooting 36%, 13 of 36 from the field, 38% for Spartanburg at 11 of 29. You see three-point land has been a lot kinder to Lawrence, even though they're not shooting the cover off the ball. They've only gotten 5 out of 19, but it's still better than the 0% knocked down by Spartanburg. You look at the turnover tale, 12 on behalf of Spartanburg with just 5 for Lawrence. So we will see if they can minimize the turnovers. By they, we mean Spartanburg is going to be key if they're going to try to get back into this game. And that's probably not the best way to phrase it. They're not out of it by any means, just being down 8 as we start the second half. But could be in a much better position, just taking better care of the ball. Also, the three ball has to be kinder to them than it was in the first half, not knocking down any of their three-point attempts. Interesting footwork there by Statham. He can't get the shot to go. Ladarius Williams no good. There will be no third time as they're able to pull it out of there. Bruton comes across the timeline. Coast to coast has it blocked by Williams. Floater, back of the rim, bounces around and won't go down. Rebound pulled out of there by Tavares Scott, who was fouled on the play. Look at the leading scorers for each squad for Lawrence. Led by for Lawrence, they were actually led by Chris Statham, who had 8 points. On the Spartanburg side, Cam McKennedy had 8 points for them. So balanced scoring on both sides. No one player really taking over. Teams getting it done however they need to get it done. This time we're going to have a one-hand flush, though, by E. Nicholas Leak. Ty Madden with the skip pass. Now they'll try to work it inside. There's Williams. Leak has the baseline cut off, tries to get it to Williams, but it's stolen. The Vikings are running. Mike Murphy cannot get the layup to go. Madden with the dish to Statham. Statham has 10 points. Statham in double figures, and so is the deficit. 12-point game. Three from the top of the key. Mike Murphy. Let's get that goose egg off of the made column in the three-point section of the box score. He gives Spartanburg their first three-pointer here in the game so far. Talked about how tough it was from the outside. If you're going to take a three, you like to see one created in the wide open variety there. Nice job of drawing in the defense by Bruton out to Murphy, who takes it from there. Free throws no good. Spartanburg pulls to within 9. Murphy with another one as it's 37-44. Hey, looked a little funny, but it works for Spartanburg. You saw Bruton just kind of drag those last few steps. Wasn't sure if he was trying to set up for a Euro or not. But he was able to get it over to Cam McKennedy, who floated it up and in. They pulled to within 5. Bruton doing a good job creating opportunities for others. It was the assist to McKennedy there. He created a nice opportunity for Miller. Miller couldn't finish. And Bruton going to be called for the foul. Nicholas Leak rules safe on the slide. He's going to go to the free throw line. 39-44 is your score. 2 team fouls against Spartanburg. Just 1 team foul against Lawrence here in the 3rd quarter. As Leak goes to the line. That one's off the back of the rim. Andrew Tate checks back into the game for Spartanburg. Miller caught that pass in traffic, has it knocked out of bounds. Statham gets a hand on that one, knocks it out of play. Give me that, says Toby Jackson. Nice defense. He argues that the pass was kicked. The officials agree, so it will be Lawrence ball there along the baseline. Power dribble. Statham muscles that one up and in. Chris Statham led the Raiders in scoring in the first half. There he makes it a 7-point game. Forrest Scott loses the handle, able to get it to Murphy though. Murphy has their lone 3-pointer here in the game. That one's too strong. But the ball will stay with Spartanburg. Farm Bureau Insurance Classic. Appreciate you joining us here. This event has hosted some great players, teams, and matchups over the past few years. You look at some of the alums, you see them on ESPN in and out every week. You look at Romello Trimble, who's there, starting point guard at Maryland. Big reason why they're having such a great season. He's a former FBI Classic alum, playing for Bishop O'Connell there in his high school days. Sindarius Thornwell, who's a key member for that University of South Carolina basketball team that's currently undefeated. Those are just a couple. Jakeenan Gant, who's at Missouri, one of the better players to ever come out of Georgia. L.J. Peak, who's at Georgetown. He and his Gaffney teammates were in some of the most legendary matchups here in the FBI Classic archives. Those are just to name a few. Won't give you the exhaustive list since the focus is Lawrence versus Spartanburg, but just so you know the pedigree of the tournament that you're watching right now. Plenty of good players have come through it. Charge attempt, trying to take one there was Keyshawn Bruton. Instead, he's going to be called for the block. Headed to the line, Ladarius Williams. Ronnie Miller, number 22, checks back into the game for Spartanburg. Number 21, Andrew Tate, has a seat. free throw good there for Williams. It's an 8-point game. Cat and mouse game continues. Spartanburg inches a little bit closer there with that coast-to-coast take by Bruton. Warriors just never stopped the ball on that play, and Bruton took what they gave him, which was a lane to the cup. Ty Madden to throw it in. And you can see that shoulder being lowered right there. He'll be called for the foul. Trying to make a strong move. There was Ladarius Williams. Defender was already there and set. Easy call for the officials to make. Williams tips the rebound to himself. Can't hold on to it, so it'll stay with Spartanburg right there along the baseline. 6-point game. For the Vikings, it's been close, but no cigar. With them battling back and forth to bring the lead from 9 points down to a manageable 6. Got down as low as to 4 points there a few minutes before halftime. But Lawrence responded. Here's Leak in the corner. Good. Nicholas Leak. They still don't have an answer for Bruton in transition. We're not applying that answer as much as they should because they've kept them at bay enough to lead for the majority of this game. But his last 2 buckets have just come coast to coast, just taking it all the way as Williams gets that rebound, lays it in, and drops it off. And comes back, gets the block on the other end. Risky pass, but it's going to be brought down by Murphy. Chris Statham. This time it's the mid-range jumper. We've seen him make some blue-collar plays on the inside. There we see him stepping out to the mid-range. Foul is going to send Mike Murphy to the line. Murphy might have rushed that free throw a little bit, as even he just kind of takes a second to laugh that one off. And you know he hasn't heard the last of it. Now that's more like the Mike Murphy we know. As he splashes the second one through, it's a 10-point game. Inside to Williams. Williams fouled on the play. Not a penalty situation yet. Just the 4th or the 5th team foul against Spartanburg. Bruton leaves that one just short. But he's got reinforcements there with Tavares Scott following up. Scott, good job of sticking with the play. Ty Madden throwing in. Whitmore floats it up and in. Casario Whitmore, the senior, has next level interest in both football and basketball. Does Whitmore. Bruton, his first three-pointer of the game, his first three-point make. Looks like we're ready to start the fourth quarter. Only 2 3-pointers knocked down so far here in this game. Mike Murphy had the first. Bruton following his teammates' lead, knocking down the second. We'll be back for the fourth quarter shortly.
Seconds inbound pass to Marbury as he works on the defense of Johnson, dribbles by Robinson, takes it to the baseline, running jump shot, good! 2 seconds left.
It is the fourth quarter. Waiting for our scoreboard controller there to make that change from 3 to 4. There on the controller. Well, we appreciate you joining us here on SUVtv. As the Spartanburg Vikings continue to fight, Lawrence has done whatever has been needed in order to make sure they keep this advantage. But if Spartanburg can change that in the fourth quarter, that's the best time for it to happen. He knocked down a three-pointer just before that quarter break. There he gets a layup. Big second half for Keyshawn Bruton. Have a full timeout taken by Lawrence. 7 minutes, 14 seconds remaining here in this one. You might have a particular interest in this game here, but we'll have more coming up if you want to watch additional FBI Classic games. Right after this one, we'll have Pace Academy out of Georgia taking on Gainesville out of Florida. The 7 p.m. game is actually going to feature the host, Dorman Cavaliers. They will take on Rocky River out of North Carolina. And then the nightcap at 8:30 will feature 2 South Carolina teams, as the Seneca Bobcats will take on the Burns Rebels. Seven-point advantage for Lawrence. Ronnie Miller gets another bucket. Spartanburg. There's McKennedy. McKennedy with the lay-in. Cam McKinney, he was their leading scorer in the first half. Here he gets a crucial bucket to make it a one-possession game as we approach the 6-minute mark. Spartanburg wanted a 5-second violation, stepping through and earning the bounce. Toby Jackson. They'll swing it to the corner. McKinney for three. He misses. Bruton does not. Trying to feed it inside the stadium. Pass is broken up. Cam McKinney gets it ahead to Bruton. Bruton misses the first one. Quick explosion to get the second opportunity. That one's no good. Tipped around, and finally Toby Jackson is going to come away with it for Lawrence. Love what we're seeing here in this second half from Keyshawn Bruton. He's doing a lot on the defensive end and turning that into offense. So we'll have a foul here on the play. Looks like it's going to be a blocking foul. On the floor, so it will stay with Lawrence. Fouled on the three-point attempt is Tavares Scott. You don't want to foul a jump shooter, especially not in this scenario, a jump shooter behind the three-point line, and then on top of that, you're fouling a jump shooter for a Spartanburg Vikings team that shot 0 of 9 from three-point land in the first half, and even though they've seen 2 three-pointers fall here in the second half, it hasn't been a shot that they've knocked down with any consistency here in this game. Bounce pass ahead to Scott. Scott with a reverse. Makes it 62-62. Steal, Cam McKinney to Murphy. Murphy lays it in. They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's been a tough game for Spartanburg, as you can see, while they are fired up here at Dorman Arena. And they deserve every bit of that surge of energy that the bench gives them as the 5 on the court have a seat. The bounce pass ahead, the reverse to Scott, that was what tied the game. And then they come right back and get a bucket to take a 2-point advantage, and it is loud, or was loud on the Spartanburg side. If you are a Lawrence fan here on site, you could hear a pin drop. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Put the lights on the tree. Put them on the tree. Put them on the tree. Put the ribbon on the wreath. Put it on the wreath. Put it on the wreath. Put the lights on the tree. Put them on the tree. Put them on the tree. Put the lights on the tree.
deep three-pointer. That's a good response by Casario Whitmore. A much-needed response with the way that the Spartanburg Vikings have come back and taken this one. They only lead by 2, so not an insurmountable deficit being faced by Lawrence, but in terms of energy, all of it has flowed to the side of Spartanburg. After being down for so long, they're in a position to where they have a lead. They got to feel like this one is theirs to just steer home. But if you're Lawrence, you got a good squad that was capable of keeping the lead for the majority of the game. So, Coach Sinclair, you got to have faith in your squad to be able to finish. Despite being behind by a modest lead of 2 points for Spartanburg. Number 11, Romaine Kelly. Kelly had a high dribble, was able to keep it. Gets it over to Scott. Scott, money from the outside. The assist by Kelly. Who cares what the Spartanburg three-point percentage was in the first half? That was a crucial one there by Scott. We're going to have a foul on the play. The crowd feels like it was a ticky-tack one, as you hear a couple boo birds being thrown out there. I can't say I disagree with the crowd on that one. Whitmore good at the free throw line. Three-point game as we approach the 2-minute mark. Romaine Kelly takes some contact. So what? He eats it. Talking a little bit, saying, I'm here. Let's go. Trying to lead by example as well as verbally motivate his team. Nice response. As Lawrence comes right back and gets a bucket. Stolen away. Here's Whitmore. Whitmore looking to finish. Got up under the cup in a hurry. Got a foul to go back the other way. Number 11, Romaine Kelly. He is just a sophomore for the Vikings. That's a senior move, though, Chief. Takes it right at Ladarius Williams, chest to chest, and is able to finish. The big play there by Romaine Kelly. Breaking the action, we'll take one with them, 73-70. We're under the 2-minute mark. A good one here at Dorman Arena. You're watching the FBI Classic on SUVtv. Welcome back out of the timeout. Mike Murphy at the free throw line here for Spartanburg. 1 minute, 42 seconds on the game clock. That one going to be lost out of bounds by Scott. (74-70). Officials get the ball issue taken care of. Shot no good. Rebound by Spartanburg. Here's Scott. Scott got Romaine Kelly running with him. Kelly tries to sky up. Foul going to go against Nicholas Leak, who cannot believe the call. What do you guys think at home? Let's take a look at it. Waits for Leak to commit. Looked like a lot of ball from where I'm sitting at. Didn't look like he got him with the body. Thought he might have had that left hand on his back. Didn't look like that was there either, but the official is a lot closer and has to make that decision at a much quicker pace. So won't second guess him there, but it's a key trip to the free throw line for Spartanburg. Kelly misses that free throw. Second timeout. 1 minute, 6 seconds remaining. Out of the timeout. Spartanburg with the ball and a 4-point advantage. We are under the final minute mark. Spartanburg going to spread it out, take the air out of the ball some, see if they can run as much clock as possible. Now you need your sturdy ball handlers that are going to make good decisions, can create some space, but also avoid being in any tough situations that might lead to a turnover. Cam McKennedy embracing the moment as a leader out there on the floor. He didn't even try to pass that one off. The foul came. And he's right there ready to go to the free throw line to try and knock these down. McKennedy, the senior, at the line. Can make it a 6-point game by knocking down both of these. Gets the bounce on the first one. Touches the rim in a few spots and drops. Number 30, Ty Madden, checking back into the game for Lawrence. Ladarius Williams going to have a seat. So we've got 36.5 remaining here on the game clock. And McKennedy, as sure as he was standing there letting that foul come so he could sink the free throws, you had to make the safe assumption that he was going to knock both down. That's a good one to make because that's exactly what he did. He made it a 6-point game. Madden fouled on the other end. Believe he wanted the and one. Think they're going to rule it on the floor. That's the only reason I can think of some of the Lawrence fans not being happy with the call. He had already gathered and was going up for that shot, and he misses the front end. So Scott will head to the free throw line. First free throw is good, makes it a 7-point game. And score the second one, 70-78. The Spartanburg Vikings have come back, and barring Reggie Miller coming out and putting on a green uniform for the Raiders, safe to say this one might be over. And that is going to do it. The Spartanburg Vikings will play the winner of Pace Academy in Gainesville as they come and steal one from Lawrence here at the FBI Classic. Appreciate you joining us. Signing off until the next game.